Hola de nuevo.
Hello. Bienvenidos. Welcome to Ask Tía María. You might hear our puppies in the background because as we are in our home, we have 2 dogs and 2 cats accompanying us. So you might see them walking around and or barking to the dogs outside. That is life. So welcome again. We ended our last podcast and my mom and I continued talking. And what really came up in our follow-up conversation was the other side of the red flags that people can look for when they're entering a relationship. The red flags that might predict that you could end up in an abusive relationship. As you're making your príncipe azul or princesa azul or príncipe azul, so basically your prince charming, princess charming, or non-gender specific list of that relationship that you're looking for, and you get into that relationship, what are the red flags that you can see as you're starting the relationship that might indicate that you are starting a relationship that could turn abusive? The stats are overwhelming. According to the CDC, 1 in 3 women over the course of their life have experienced sexual, physical, and or stalking by an intimate partner in their lifetime, and 1 in 4 men. So that is a very large number. And what we want to do right now is give you some tools so you can find those red flags that will help you take a step back and reassess whether you're starting a good relationship or whether there's a possibility that you might end up in an abusive relationship. So, Mommy, over to you. What you're super excited, you just met this person, you want to spend a lot of time with them, all of your time with them. What are some of the things that might cross the line between it being just excitement and desire to spend every minute with them and something not good?
In an unhealthy relationship, the first thing that you notice is the relationship is beginning and you are told, I want to marry you. When can we get married? The relationship is barely starting. So the speed that you are experiencing or that you are told or how the relationship is evolving is as fast as a racing car. So you are getting into a racing car that is going to take you. And there are more tools that they have in their hand to make you get into the car, enjoying the speed race. So speeding through a relationship is your first warning sign. Relationships need time because you need time to get to know each other. And when you are told that you are the person that you are falling in love with is ready to spend their lifetime with you, beware.
But I mean, we have in all of the movies that you see, you have the rom-coms where it's love at first sight. And I knew the moment I saw him or her that we would spend the rest of our lives together. What's the difference between thinking about all those possibilities and actually something that could be more pervasive?
You know, when they said at first sight, okay, what happens at first sight? You know, if you look at genes, sometimes genes check each other and know they are a good match. So that may be love at first sight, do you say, attraction at first sight, or the check that, okay, this will match my genes and they will make a good offspring. But that is different than making you commit to a formal relationship that goes all the way to being a couple in a very short time.
So you're talking about physical attraction. So pheromones, physical attraction, that could be something that is making you think, oh, I'm just so crazy and we're definitely going to be together for the rest of our lives. But I feel like there's a nuance there, like,
Yes,
because it's not just dreaming or thinking maybe this is the one, but it's accompanied with actions
with
that,
commitment. The commitment that is expected of you immediately, practically. So, like, they cannot let the opportunity go because they want to own you as fast as possible. So, beware. Speed is not the best ingredient for a healthy relationship. It needs time to get to know each other and to check if really the compatibility of all the things that we have talked before as common goals, common life experiences, common um, desires for how to live life together are already put in the table and discuss and see if it's a good match and if you are going to have a harmonious relationship. So committing, being expected to commit at a fast pace talks to you about speeding the relationship process.
okay. So it's not just saying or thinking, ooh, this is a wonderful person. I
Yes.
can see myself being with them till the day I die. It's more about the expectation of the other person, or on the other person, to follow up with actions of commitment.
I cannot live without you for one day. I have to be with you forever from now on, every day of my life, next to you 24/7. So,
Mhm.
all of those comments, beware, can be a sign of a relationship that is more looking to own you than to allow you to grow into love, into respect for what your life currently is and is developing into. So,
Okay.
how can they achieve that goal? Is the next question.
Okay. So, and we're talking about red flags.
Mhm.
Sometimes you might have a red flag and nothing else. And then, you can discern whether this is a cause enough for a worry. But this is one red flag. What is the next red flag to look for?
Beware when the amount of compliments are overwhelming. When it's not only you are the most wonderful, pretty, intelligent, and all other sort of positive comments, but that it feels too many, too much, too fast. That had the goal of making you dependent on that positive reinforcement. And our sweethearts fall for it. It's easy to fall into an excess of positive comments. And by the time you notice, you are in their hands,
Mm.
no longer able to move away from that intense positive reinforcement.
Okay. So the compliments, um, like you said, the excess of them have a purpose behind it. It might not be fully genuine. Yeah.
I don't doubt of the genuity
The truth.
of that they may be actually deserve compliments. They may actually just be having an incredible high ability to describe your beauty and your goodness. They may be truth, but it's the use of the comments with the that have, knowing it or unknowing it, the purpose of making you surrender. And you surrender your will because it makes you dependent on that continuous positive reinforcement. And then you are no longer able to say, this is my limit, or this is my judgment of this is really the person I want to walk my life with or not. You are in the trap.
Okay. What would be a third red flag to look for?
What?
Um, in that desire to be with you, and could there be something where they only want to be with you?
Yes. So what happens when I cannot spend any hour of the day far from you? I need to be, we need to work together. We need to stay all the time because if I'm not close to you, I'm lost. I cannot even breathe if I'm away from you. And once we are together, what happens? It's only you and me, no more other relationships. And what is that purpose? Is to isolate you. And in isolation, it's easy to be made do whatever the person wants. So isolation is the third really big flag. No more friends or family. It's only you and me, or the ones that I want to be with.
So, Mommy, I'm hearing you describe these three things: a sense of urgency, going too fast, too far, too quick, um, the compliments that are just overboard, and isolating you from others. Um, but the way that you're describing it, it almost feels like the other person doesn't have power to say no and to be like, it's like you're once you're fallen in the trap, then too bad, so sad. Is
You are sweetly chained to that intense commitment and that intense positive reinforcement. And you are not aware that what's next, because what's next comes sooner or later. But at the beginning, that's the path.
so what is next, right? So let's say you start a relationship, and all of these warning signs have been there, and you proceed with a relationship. Um, what comes to mind is control and possession.
Uh-huh.
Is that the evolution of a
Uh-huh.
relationship that starts
You got
with
it.
these things?
You got it. You get there. And once you have lost the power to be away, then jealousy comes. Why are you talking to X, Y, or Z? No, they are not my friends. Or don't spend time with them because I want to spend all my time with you. It's still with a soft cloth under, not a soft purpose. And soon you become a possession. Dominance and possession are what's behind control. But the sad aspect of it is what is behind control.
Let me guess. Insecurity,
Fear.
fear.
Fear of losing you. Because at the same time, the person wanted the relationship, wanted to be feel loved. And with all that process, the person feels the love that you are giving them and don't want to lose it. And what's next is the jealousy and the control and the protection of the relationship. It's no longer, you're no longer free. you are chained to the relationship.
You talked about jealousy, but that didn't make it to your first three flags. Or would you include jealousy
Well,
as
because we're talking about red flags at the beginning. We are not talking about the evolution.
okay, so you're talking in the very starting stages.
1, 2, 3 months of a
Okay.
relationship.
Okay. So jealousy definitely one of is it always a red flag?
Of course.
Of
But
course.
it doesn't appear at the beginning of a relationship, the jealousy, because they are trying to make you believe in paradise.
Mm,
And jealousy is not paradise.
okay. What could jealousy look like?
Don't allowing conversations with other people. It doesn't have to be of a different gender. Just one's exclusivity in the relationship is one on one. All your time that is free, give it to me. The time that you have free, I'll be happy to have all of it. And means sometimes you don't have to be working. You need to, I want to spend more time with you. Be with me. That's all that is important.
So
It's me and you.
it's not only jealousy the way that we think about it of being jealous of another person because of a possible rival. It's like you said, jealousy of spending time studying or
Mhm.
working or doing your own projects, art, singing, reading. Um, so anything that that other person.
Whatever is not adoring me.
Okay. So jealousy comes in the
Later.
later in the later
No,
stages.
yes.
Can
That's
you
possession,
can you think of anything else that comes with jealousy in the later stages?
violence. Violence. And violence at the beginning is not expressed toward you, it's expressed toward objects or toward pets or toward the things that you love. Because that violence is a threat of what may happen to you.
So it's building some kind of control based on fear.
Exactly.
Well, I think we can probably have a full podcast just on what violence in a relationship looks like, and not only what to look for in that case, but what to do. So why don't we put a pin on the violence side?
Violence is such a complex issue. And we can definitely just spend time just talking about all that is behind and how is that we have a culture where violence is justified and where does it comes from, where is violence born, and we can start by looking at the very young child, and maybe that's for our next podcast.
Yeah. Um, yeah, I was going to start the conversation around violence. So let's just stop it here with the three first red flags for you to keep in mind as you are starting a relationship. And
They are
going too quickly, too fast, uh, too many
excess.
compliments, and isolating you from others. Okay. Well, till next time, have a wonderful rest of your day, evening, morning, and we will talk soon.
look forward to talk again and be with you.